EGM Network.
From Studio A in sunny Florida, welcome to Beauty and the Beach Radio, where it's all about who's beautifying Vero Beach. Today's show is brought to you by Dale Sorensen Real Estate. And here's your host and glamour girl, makeup artist, Cindy Getz.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty and the Beach Radio. My name is Cindy Getz. I'm your host, where it's all about his beautifying Vero Beach. And today, you guys, we're going to beautify your life by recapping 2024, the most talked about stories for 2024. This is U.S. This is not Vero Beach. The most talked about shows on the news in 2024. So we're going to do a recap for you, and we're going to start with the beginning of the year. So we'll start at the first of 2024. But Cindy, first of all, I have to say we are freaking freezing in Florida right now. And actually, I think it's snowing in North Florida.
Tallahassee got 3 inches. I almost said 3 acres. It's a crazy day today. 3 inches, state of emergency.
Cindy, listen, the double Cindy's here just got back from being out of town, so we're still trying to get our heads on straight, right? But no, it is so freezing. I have like 4 layers of clothes on right now. It's so dumb. And my family's on a group text, and they're all showing pictures of snow. And then, of course, I said this morning, y'all need to move to Florida. And they're like, ouch, but it's not that much warmer here.
No, it isn't. It's freezing. We are cold. The iguanas are falling out of the trees.
I know. I feel like that's what we're the iguanas that just kind of like we freeze in place because we're not used to it being below 60 degrees. So if you want to know, like right now it's in its 50s. And I know you're probably like, seriously, because if you're listening up in New York or, somewhere super cold, that probably seems like nothing. But
is it really 50? To me, it seems like it's 20 below out there.
Well, it said with the wind, though, it's going to feel more like in the 30s.
It does.
It did. So legitimately, we are not babies. And it literally is supposed to feel like it's in the 30s, and it does.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's raining.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
Cold, rain, wet.
We are just not used. And you said you're going to go swim in the morning at an outdoor pool. You're nuts.
Well, it's heated, the pool. I'm just going to bring my big fluffy
get
my bear coat.
Booty in there. And what are you going to wear? A snowsuit in the pool?
I want to get my exercise going. I got to lose that.
So listen, we were packed with tons of stories, newsworthy stories in 2024. I've got 11 of them that we're going to try to cover. Cindy, what sticks out to you as the most talked story for 2024?
It's got to be the election.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be.
Yeah. And we're going to get to that because I want you just came back from D.C. I want to hear all about it. And I know the listeners do too. But that happened in November. So let me get started with the beginning of the year and we'll get to that. So the very first thing, Cindy, for 2024, that was one of the most talked stories for last year is the Alaska Airlines door plug incident. I don't know if you recall that.
I do. Isn't that the 737 MAX?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just flew
Very
a MAX.
good.
Yeah,
Very good. Boeing 737 MAX. Now, it did safely make an emergency landing, and thank God no one was injured. But the door plug blew out, and of course, causing massive chaos on the plane. But thank goodness there were no injuries, no serious injuries.
Can you imagine, though? You fly a lot. I fly a lot. Can you imagine? And I'm not laughing. I mean, I'm like, and that happens the same as wasn't it a couple of years ago where the lady got sucked out the window? I can't even imagine that.
I think when we all fly, we all have that little bit of thing that goes through our head, like, I hope it's safe. I hope I'm not having to get the oxygen mask. And
the plane going up to DC was a MAX, and I said to my daughter, it's a MAX. They're still having problems with this one. Should we get off of this plane?
Did you?
Yes,
Oh my
I
gosh.
did. I was like, it's a MAX. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it was a maximum boo-boo for Boeing. So anyway, so that was kind of the first big story of the year with the door plug incident. The second one, and this was such a big one, oh my gosh, and people did die in this one. This was the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse.
Oh my!
So
goodness.
you know that bridge in Baltimore. Do you still recall when you saw that and that barge is just in like slow motion hitting that bridge? It was terrifying to watch.
And they were trying to find the bodies for days.
Yeah, so that happened in March. So a container ship struck the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, collapsing the bridge and killing. God bless, 6 is too many, but killing only six construction workers who were filling potholes. Okay,
I know,
on the span. So 2 workers survived, and the crash affected entry into the port of Baltimore. That was a big deal for weeks.
Is a big deal.
Yep. With the debris. Oh my gosh! So that was blocking entry for other ships. Crews worked to remove. I don't know if you remember the statistics on this, Cindy. 50,000 tons of steel, concrete, and asphalt from the channel and from the container ship. So the reconstruction, they're looking at almost $2 billion. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy, but I mean, that's, I guess, the price of doing business now. But I guess they draw, and I hope I'm saying this right, the draft on those ships is you have to have that all clear. I mean, the ships can't go in and out with how big they are.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm a scuba diver, and all I could think about was how in the world, you know, are these people, you know, because there's some that they can do with machines, and the others they're going to have to go under and see what's it all about. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what a disaster. What a mess. Yeah. What a mess. So, all right. So the bridge collapsed in Baltimore. The third story, and wow, this was interesting, Cindy. So Jennifer and James Crumbley, does that ring a bell? Okay, so they're the parents of the Michigan high schooler, Ethan.
Oh,
okay, the parents, okay?
Yes.
We're not used to seeing this. The parents were sentenced to 10 to 15 years in prison. Okay, this happened in April. After each was found guilty of 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter in separate trials. This was big.
A lot of people had a ton of comment on that I knew, saying, how in the world can you hold the parents accountable? And I was like, how can you not?
Yeah.
I'm a parent and a grandparent. You are. I mean, the kid wasn't 18.
So you're right, Cindy. So the trials were a rare, case of parents facing criminal charges over the role in a shooting carried out by their child. So Ethan, who was 15 years old, such a baby, at the time of the 2021 shooting, was sentenced to life in prison without parole for killing 4 students at Oxford High School. Prosecutors said his parents ignored, Cindy, this is where it got really challenging, ignored several warning signs leading up to the shooting. The parents also bought their son the gun used in the shooting and failed to secure the weapon and limit their son's access to it. 15 years old.
Your life's ruined. The people that he killed, of course, the life is ruined.
Yeah.
I mean, how did this fall through the cracks? There had to have been warning signs. I say that with every one of these shootings. There had to have been.
Well, and that's why they got convicted, because apparently, and I don't know what those warning signs were, but that apparently there were multiple ones that were out there, and they didn't do anything about it. So.
And I have talked with parents and have had neighbors and whatever that have difficult children.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a parent. It's tough. Yeah. It's the toughest job in the world. It is. President of the United States is nothing compared to being a parent.
I believe that.
But
I'm not a parent, but I respect that.
Right. But you got to try to do your best.
Your part. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You just do.
Yeah. Well, speaking of tough, this is another one that we hadn't really seen before. Alec Baldwin. So that whole debacle on the movie set.
Yeah.
So if you're not familiar with the story, Alec Baldwin was an actor in a Western, and the scene he goes to shoot the gun, well, it had live ammunition, and killed one of the people on the set.
The director. I want to say the director. Yeah, that's up for contention there. That some people said that was planned, and some I don't know what the deal.
So the armorer, handler, Hannah Gutierrez was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter, and that was in March. She was found not guilty of tampering with evidence. She repeatedly failed to maintain proper firearm safety, and her negligence was led to believe in Hutchins' death, the person that died on the set. And she was sentenced in April to 18 months in prison. So Alec, who actually shot the gun, was let off, and this Hannah, she's got about 18 months in prison.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know how something like that would happen.
I know.
How do you miscue a live round?
Exactly. I could not wrap my head around that. I'm like, how does that mistakenly happen? No. You know? Ooh, that's so scary.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was another one. Were you a Friends fan of the TV show Friends?
I watched some of it. I thought it was a cute show. I did. I did watch a lot.
So Matthew Perry, 5 charged in his death.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Matthew Perry, and it's unfortunate, it was kind of known that he had a problem with alcohol. Well, this was way different. So in August, 5 people were charged in connection with last year's death of Friends Matthew Perry. So Eric Fleming, who admitted in court documents that he distributed the ketamine. So do you know what ketamine is?
I've heard of it, but I don't. It's a drug, obviously.
It's a synthetic drug. Yes. Okay. And so they'll use it for depression or pain. Okay.
Yeah. Now
this ketamine that killed Perry. So he's the one that admitted that he distributed it to Perry, and the actor's live-in assistant Kenneth, who admitted in court documents that he administered it. I believe it has to be through, through a syringe, right? Or IV. I'm not really sure how it's. I don't know. Anyway, so Perry died, and so the 5 of them have been faced with charges for his death.
That's kind of like the Michael Jackson one.
Yes, it
same
is.
Deal. Well, somebody's got to be held responsible. I mean, these people, not to say that, expect carte blanche.
Yeah.
And somebody has to put their foot down and say, okay, I get it, you're Michael Jackson, but at the end of the day, somebody's going to be held accountable.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be on my watch kind of thing.
So I guess with Michael Jackson, from what I understood, he just could not sleep. And so by the end, he was getting this stuff, I guess that was like stuff that you would use for surgeries.
He was getting propofol.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's anesthetic.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you don't give propofol to people. Yeah. I mean, it's under
lock. I'm saying, it's like it's surgery, not every night sleeping, people,
I know. It should be under lock and key, but that's just me.
All right. 6th story. Unfortunately, another high school shooting. This is in Georgia. Do you remember this 14-year-old student, Colt Gray, accused of opening fire at the Appalachia High School in Georgia? This was just in September, killing 2 students and 2 teachers, injuring several others. So the suspect's father is also facing charges for allegedly knowingly allowing his son to possess the weapon. So investigators believe the teen received the AR-style gun. All right, we're not talking water pistol, AR-style gun used in the shooting as a Christmas present from his father. So the father and son have pleaded not guilty. So
that would be what I bought my kid for Christmas, is an AR.
Oh my goodness! So
I mean, seriously,
we got kind of 2 stories very similar here in 2024.
That one I didn't follow.
And how sad. The one kid's 14. The one that happened earlier was 15.
That's it. Their life is done. Done.
And both received guns as presents. I don't know.
No, I do know, and that's not it. That wouldn't be my, no. No.
What happened to Legos, for heaven's sakes? Okay.
In my day, we had candy cigarettes, so I guess that's been.
Right?
No, we did.
I remember
we
those.
Did, yeah.
Are they still around?
I'm going to say no comment. I don't know. But I do remember we wanted the paper one, so there was a couple of different kinds. There was the
I just remember the ones that were like chalk, but it was candy.
Correct.
Yeah.
But they did make ones that were bubble gum wrapped in a paper, and they looked like cigarette papers. And when you blew it the first time, what do you call it? The dusting that they used on the gum would blow out like it was real smoke.
I want some of those for the next show. That would be so fun.
I don't even know if they make them any longer.
It's probably laced with all kinds of plastic stuff.
It was then, but I mean, that's why we're all crazy today. But right? I mean, yeah, those were the cool ones. Yeah, that's what we wanted.
All right. So number 7, most talked about story for 2024. And boy, do we know this one. Now, these are stories that hit U.S. and that were most talked about in U.S., but this happened in our backyard. And we're talking about Hurricanes Helene and Milton.
Oh, my goodness.
So, we escaped the wrath of Helene, and we actually escaped Milton per se, but boy, did we get slammed with Milton's little bullies, all the tornadoes that came with him or preceded him.
The twirly-cues. But you know what? I want to make a shout out, and I just heard this in D.C.
Yeah.
In one of the restaurants where we're actually Ebbett's restaurant in downtown D.C.
Okay.
Right? Pretty famous restaurant.
Yeah.
A lady talked about the hurricane in Asheville. Okay, so before Milton.
Yeah.
And she was like, and they have been in this studio via remote, the Cajun Navy, and she said what good they did, the Cajun Navy, helping those people in Asheville and the area up there. And I was like, yes. Because you never know who to give the money to.
Sure.
And no disrespect to anyone, but they're there the second they can be there. And shout out to the Cajun Navy for all of the disaster stuff they do for all around the country.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I was so happy. Yeah, love to hear it. Love to hear it.
All right. Well, speaking of natural disaster, this is a very, very bad disaster. Diddy arrested. Okay, that was so bad, Cindy. So disgusting. Did you have any idea before this story broke?
Well, that's
how corrupt he was.
No, and that's like the producer. What's his name?
Oh yeah, Weinstein. Right.
I mean, so people turn around and they say the same as I had the conversation with someone about what's the one that was not Fox? Was it Fox News? With the Me Too movement?
Oh yeah.
And they're like, well, that's what you have to do to have your job. And I'm like, no, it isn't what you have to do to have your job. Somebody needs to out that ASAP, right?
So listen, if you're not really familiar, you'd be living on a rock if you didn't know. But in September, music mogul Sean Diddy Combs was arrested in New York and charged with sex trafficking by force, transportation to engage in prostitution, and racketeering conspiracy. Prosecutors allege he had an enterprise that he engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, or kidnapping, arson, and other crimes. Combs is accused of using violence, threats, and coercion to force women to engage in sex acts with male prostitutes, sometimes lasting days and often recorded. Combs allegedly called the activity freak-offs. I mean,
that's sick.
It's so sick. It's so disgusting. So he pleaded not guilty, and his trial is set for May 2025. So I'm sure if we do a recap of 2025, he's going to be in it again. And hopefully he'll be locked away for a very long time, because that is absolutely unacceptable.
Well, that's not even a strong enough word.
I know. I'm trying to think of a nice word.
Yeah. It's beyond comprehension, first of all.
Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. You guys, I'm sorry I'm going to end on that, but we have to go to a station break. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's Bluegrass Night every Thursday at Marsh Landing Restaurant. Enjoy our famous swamp water with down-home favorites like frog legs, fried chicken, and peanut butter pie. The music starts at 6:30 every Thursday. Call for reservations. Bluegrass Night at Marsh Landing in Fellsmere.
I'm John King, certified arborist with King Tree Management. Every cut on your tree is permanent. King Tree Management cuts your cost by making the right cuts the first time. Contact me at King Tree Management. We treat your trees like royalty.
Blue Dolphin Pools strives to provide quality service with a well-trained staff in the field and in the office. They want you to know that your pool or spa investment means much more to them than just another account. They believe you have entrusted them with your investment, and they'll do their best to see that it stays in top condition. Blue Dolphin Pool has been in business over 35 years, setting them apart from the competition. Residential or commercial, Blue Dolphin will keep you in the swim. 567-5853.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats and chairs in all the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Riverside, Universal, Four Seasons, Braxton Color, and Capri. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of Berlin Gardens and Bollywood. We specialize in fire pits, outdoor rugs, umbrellas, and replacement cushions. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Family owned and operated since 1991. Don't forget to visit our outlet store directly across the street, filled with lots of name brand closeouts and sale items. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Have a sunshine day. Sunshine.
Cindy gets. She totally gets it. Oh my gosh. Did you see my prom makeup? She so gets it.
Dude, did you see her before and after makeup on Instagram? That makeup girl gets it.
My wedding makeup was so amazing, and my makeup artist, she totally gets it.
My senior photo makeup rocked. She gets it.
You should see her new Facebook profile. Her makeup artist really gets her.
My eye makeup is so on fleek. Thanks, Cindy Getz.
Cindy Getz Makeup Artist, 772-633-4030.
She gets it!
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty and the Beach Radio. I'm Cindy Getz, your host. We want to thank Dale Sorensen Real Estate for making sure that we're always on air and always able to tell you who's beautifying Vero Beach. So whether you're buying or selling, you definitely want to reach out to them. They have been family owned since 1978. You can find them at sorensenrealestate.com. You can also give them a call at 772-231-4712. Dale Sorensen Real Estate. Thank you so much. We also want to thank Varietals and More. They always make sure we have lovely beverages on our show. So whether you are heading off to a party or you just want to curl up on the couch with a good book and a fire while it's snowing here in Florida, grab yourself a great bottle of wine and some charcuterie. It's just absolutely a delightful store right there on Royal Palm Point. Rob and Michelle at Varietals and More. Go see them. 10% discount if you mention Beauty and the Beach Radio. All right, you guys, we're wrapping it up with the most talked about stories for 2024. We got to 8 with Diddy being arrested. That was in September. Number 9, Cindy, do you remember the Menendez brothers? Menendez, excuse me. The whole, do you remember when that happened?
I didn't realize it was that long ago. Yeah. I felt ancient that those guys had been in prison that long. I just wonder what the real story is, because that was another sexual deviant story.
I was curious if you knew anything about it, because they were in the news because I guess so. I don't know if you know this. They came back into the spotlight this year when Netflix released a scripted series and documentary, both of which added Eric and Lyle. Menendez, to be pushed to be released from prison.
Yeah, it was one of the congressmen or representatives of something in California that was doing that.
Yeah, so the brothers were convicted in the 90s for the 89 murders. Okay, so it happened in 89 of their parents.
Yeah.
Jose and Kitty, and the brothers' next court hearing will be 2025. So we got to watch Diddy, and we got to watch the Menendez brothers and see what happens there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the last two was the Delphi trial. So he was found guilty of murdering 2 teenage girls, and of course, the last one, which was just as horrible, a United Healthcare CEO that was killed.
Goodness.
I know. So you guys, I want to give you some good news. I love you. I can't wait to see you in our new studio. So tune in next week and we will have a new look. Love you.